Good morning. I'm Jerry Hafer with AMAC and the AMAC Foundation. Thank you for coming to our seminar today, our seminar series, actually. The first of our seminars will feature remarks from Bill Chrisman. Bill is the former Chief of Police of Leesburg, and he's going to share with us a number of the programs and features they have available in Lake County for the protection of seniors. Their programs are designed to keep seniors out of trouble, be aware of crimes happening in the neighborhood, and what you can do to protect yourself. So with that, Bill Chrisman.
Thank you for allowing me to speak with you this morning. I am happy to be here on behalf of Sheriff Grinnell and the Lake County Sheriff's Office, and we do want to mention a few of the programs that we offer through our Sheriff's Department. They're free of charge. We're happy to come out and speak to you and groups. If you'd like us to come in the future, we'd be happy to do it. The Sheriff's Department offers a lot of programs. We really do. I was amazed coming on board here recently just how many we do offer. Has anybody ever heard of the program, the Vial of Life? We'll start with that one. Vial of Life is an excellent program. They're free of charge, and they're downstairs right now in the lobby on our display table. But we offer what looks like a pill bottle. It's orange in color with a white lid. It has a sticker on the outside, and you take your prescription information and you jot it down. It's important to list the prescription by name and then the dosage that you're taking and how often you take it. It's all explained on the sheet. Once you've filled that out, you place it in that bottle. You put that bottle in all places in your refrigerator. In your refrigerator. And then you take the other sticker that's inside the bottle and you place it at your front door. So if a first responder responds to your home because there's a medical emergency, and let's say you're unable to respond to them, you've had such an illness or injury that's occurred that you're unable to tell them what's going on. When they see that sticker at the front door and they enter your home, they know to look in the refrigerator, they know to look for the prescriptions that you're currently taking, and they make sure they don't give you something that might counteract with your current medications. They're there to save you, and they don't want to give you something that could cause you a problem. So by keeping that up to speed, that is an excellent way of getting your prescription information out there to the medical first responders right off the bat. Saves them from going through your bathroom, your kitchen, other places where we have our pill bottles spread out. I know because I take 3 a day. And so it's very helpful to have that information handy to those first responders. They also have contact information so they can call a family member or a neighbor, whoever you've listed that you want contacted, and so that person can be made aware of your illness as well. So it's really a great program. It's free of charge. We have them downstairs on our display table right now. And if you don't currently participate with that program, I would encourage you to consider it. It's really a good thing. And that's just one of several that we have going. We also have a program called Senior Watch. Now, Senior Watch involves you registering free of charge. You're asking to be put on a list. Currently, we have 185 active seniors because it fluctuates since we have a population that kind of comes and goes. We have over 900 registered, but many of them are out of state right at the moment. With that said, by registering for that program, we ask you to call in daily. You're just calling in, checking in, and saying, hey, this is Bill Chrisman, and my number is 830, and I'm just checking in with you this morning. Now, let's say Bill has a 60-year-old moment, because that's how old I am, and I forget to call in. The Sheriff's Department's going to call you. If you don't pick up your phone, we're going to send a deputy over to your home and check on you and make sure that everything is okay. And that's a great program as well. It doesn't cost anything, but we have rescued folks that have fallen inside their home, unfortunately laid there for several hours, but would have laid there for several more hours had we not gone to check on them. So it's a great program. It's a daily program, and all it requires is a phone call. If you're going to travel, you'd let us know the day before, hey, I'm not going to be home for the next 2 weeks. Please put me on the inactive list for the next 2 weeks, and then when I'm back in town, I'll call you and you can activate me again. And that's kind of how that works. It's a simple process, but it's very good. And for some of us, again, my age group and older, we find ourselves, sadly, maybe even living on our own, then it's nice to know somebody's out there checking on us and making sure everything's okay. So that's another program we offer. We offer security checks as far as going out and checking people's homes, but beyond that, we can let you know a security survey of a particular property. We can come out and look at a home and say, this is how you could target harden this home. This is what you could do to make it safer when you're not home. I mean, there's little tricks of the trade. I'll try to appetize you a little bit. If you're like so many of us that you're here for part of the year and then gone part of the year, or you travel a lot, how many people know that if they have a landline to turn the volume off the ringer while they're gone? Anybody want to take a guess why you would do that? See if anybody's at home. If I have your phone number, and guys, nowadays we live in the information world, it is so easy to get information on all of us, so easy, that I can literally pull up in front of an address and download information, not as a police officer, just as a normal person nowadays, and I can find out information about who lives there and so on, and I may find a home phone number. And if I do, and I dial that number, and it rings and rings and rings, and I can hear it from the outside, then I know nobody's home, and it may entice me to break in. So one thought would be to turn the volume on your ringers off or down or unplug the phone while you're traveling or while you're gone, because that takes away one tool for your burglars. Another thing, obviously, is to make sure that if you have home delivery on mail, that the mail is picked up regularly, you cancel your newspapers, or have a good neighbor pick them up. In my case, the men and women that deliver newspapers, in general, are good people. But like any profession nowadays, there can be a bad egg that sneaks in there. So if you're gone and you're allowing your newspapers to pile up, or someone else goes driving by and starts to see newspapers piling up, that's a sign that somebody's likely not home, and it might be an enticement for somebody to go into your home. But that's some of the information we could offer if we came out to talk about home security, and we'd be happy to do that. And I'd be happy to talk more with anybody that would have any questions at the end. And a lot of this information that I'm just throwing at you is available in detail downstairs on our display table, and you'd be welcome to take it with you. To the people at home, I don't look generally this fat in person. That camera's putting 10 pounds on me. So actually, I'm much slimmer, kind of like an athlete body. The camera's really messing me up here, so bear with me. Because I was told they're streaming this. That's also a neat thing. I really have made it to the big time. It's really cool. I do want to ask, do I have any grandparents here or great-grandparents? Several of you. Okay. So one thing I learned when my daughters were born is that grandparents mean well, but they lie. Because when my daughters were born, they were the ugliest creatures I've ever seen in my life. And they're beautiful girls. They're absolutely beautiful girls. But when they were born, they were beat feet ugly. They were gruesome. And my mom and dad showed up at the hospital, and they peered through the window with me at that little observation window that they used to have a long time ago. And my dad's eyes welled up with tears, and my mom was smiling ear to ear, and she says, "Bill, she's so beautiful." And I'm like, "Mom, that's not mine. This one is mine." And she said, "No, Bill, she's beautiful." So I learned that grandparents lie. They do it for the right reasons, but babies are ugly. I'm sorry, they are ugly. Puppies are cute. Babies are ugly. So I am reserving that right. My daughters are 31 and 28, and they have not invented children yet. But should they ever have children, I'm going to go in there and lie like everybody else and say, "Oh, sweetheart, that's a beautiful child," knowing in my heart that's an ugly little baby. But it's okay to lie. So for grandparents, I've learned that was one of the treats we get to have as being a grandparent, and I look forward to that tool one day. Some of the other opportunities we have through the Sheriff's Department that we will do for you, we have a program called the Lockbox. For those that haven't heard about that program, we will make available for you a box that goes on your front door handle, assuming you have a knobbed door handle or something that is secure where it won't just slide right back off. But it's a box with basically a U-hook. It locks in place. It has a keypad. You decide what the keypad code is, and you place your house key inside of it. So if first responders have to respond to your home, and we need to get inside, we need to render aid. You've fallen and you can't get up. You're not answering your phone. You've been gone. We're going to probably break a window or break a door to get in there to check on you, and we don't want to damage it if we don't have to. So the sheriff came up with a great idea of the Lockbox program. And what it does is we place, with your help, your house key in that box. We lock it on your front door, and that's where it stays. We give dispatch your code that you create, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then if there's ever an emergency, it's in the dispatch center. So if EMS or fire or law enforcement respond to your home, for any emergency, we can avoid kicking in your front door or breaking a window, because that lockbox will tell us, they're participants of the lockbox program. We can get dispatch to give us the code. We punch it in. It flops open. We can use your key to get in the house. Another great program, and people a lot smarter than me had the time to think about these programs and come up with them. But that's free of charge. There are so many things that we do offer our residents. One of them, again, I'm in that age group where as we get older, we're not quite as sharp as we were when we were younger in some cases. We have more knowledge, but the scissors aren't as sharp as they were, just being honest. And so for some of us, we start getting a diminished capacity mentally. And if we start getting to that point where we get dementia or we start wandering, we have a program called Safety Net. That's also on display downstairs. And what we'll do for folks that are living at home and have a caregiver, that's a real important combination, still living at home and have a caregiver and live in Lake County, we will work with that family and help provide a safety net bracelet. The bracelet is a dickens to get off. It just doesn't come off. You can shower with it, swim with it, bathe, whatever. It stays on in case that person is prone to peeling at things that are on their wrist or arms, maybe even their ankle if need be. But what that provides us is an opportunity that when someone wanders away from their home, we can successfully find them. So far, we've had a 100% success rate. Can't do much better than that in recovering wanderers, people that have walked away. That is a great bottom line. We had one that was able to cut it off. The lady got access to scissors, she cut it off her wrist, and she flushed it down her toilet. We found that one. It was in her septic tank. Nobody volunteered to go get it, but we actually tracked it to the septic tank. The program works, guys. It really does. Now, those bracelets aren't cheap. That's why we restrict it to certain categories, full-time or residents here in Lake County, and then those that have a caregiver. Because it's $530 for every one of those bracelets. And we've gotten grants, we've had people make donations, but ultimately it comes out of our budget. So we don't just hand them out like candy, but we do provide them in cases and have had good outcomes in each and every case. And I think that's another example of one of the great programs that we offer here in Lake County. We have so many more that are available. We have a brochure downstairs that actually lists some of these programs and others that I'm going to skim over. But I would encourage you as you leave today to go downstairs and look at those brochures, help yourself to anything. We also have some magnetized clips that you can put on bags or put Post-it notes on the refrigerator. We have some pens and other things. You're welcome to take those. But we want you to know, as residents of Lake County, that we are here for you. We have helped Marion as Marion has helped us. We've helped Sumter as Sumter has helped us. And so we will help one another, but obviously our programs are geared for Lake County residents because they're the taxpayers that paid for this stuff, and we want to make sure we get it in their hands. So with that said, I'd like to open it up to any questions that anybody may have. Yes?
How far is the range on the bracelet?
The range on the bracelet is at least 15 miles. Now, we recovered one gentleman in Jacksonville, so that's a little bit further than 15 miles. But we actually have, and it's displayed downstairs on the table, there's an antenna. It looks like the old antennas that we used to have in my days growing up for our television set. It's like a smaller version of the same thing. And it starts to narrow a path, and we have multiple antennas spread out in the county that can become handheld or portable. And so we triangulate and work our way that way. We are proud of what we have been able to work with our community on here in Lake. We have so much more we can do, and we're working towards that now. I will do one little comment. I was on the sidelines with the city police department for years and watching the sheriff's department over the years. And our sheriff, our current sheriff, Sheriff Grinnell, is just an amazing, very, very energetic person. His energy level scares me a little bit because I've definitely slowed down, and he hasn't figured out he has to slow down. But he served us honorably in the Marine Corps, And he came back to Lake County to call Lake County home, and he's just done so much good here. So I am proud to be under this umbrella. And sometimes you can't say that, but I can say that honestly to you guys. If you have any questions for us at the Sheriff's Department, I happen to be the privilege of working currently out of the mall office, the Lake Square Mall office, and we would welcome a visit from you. It's not a substation, so it's not staffed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, anything like that. But the mall generously gives us the space to use for free, and that's where we are based. So if I can ever be of any help, please feel to stop by. Or if you want to call, my phone number is easy, 1-800-DIAL-A-PRAYER. It won't sound like me, but just pretend it's me and ask whatever you need to ask. And in case that didn't register, that was a joke. So don't dial 1-800-DIAL-A-PRAYER, because that's a whole different thing. But our phone number at the mall is 326-8108, and we'd be happy to help you if we can.
What's your biggest problem with older people?
My biggest problem with older people, I don't have one. Now, as an agency, our biggest problem with older people is a double-edged sword. The generation that I have before me, and I'm cheating, I'm including myself in because I was the tail end of it at 60. We were most trusting people you'll ever meet. We were. We believed people. We could take people on their word. When you shook somebody's hand, it was a contract. It was as good, and remember this, don't you? I do. And sadly, guys, that's gone away. Some of us in our age group haven't adapted with that. We make ourselves, unfortunately, great victims. I'll give you an example. Scams. We had a lady live here in the Villages, still does, God bless her, and she received a phone call. One of her grandkids was in trouble, needed bond money. She had been arrested and needed to be bonded out. Granny, can you help me? Well, grandparents, remember, we're big liars, but we're also people with huge hearts. And we love our grandkids more than anything. And so she didn't hesitate, even when they told her they needed $5,000 cash. Now, the way she was going to get the money to them should have been a red flag, but her heart took over her mind. And she drove behind a plaza here in Lady Lake, and she put the $5,000 in a sack, put the sack behind the plaza, and drove off. She had an epiphany about 3 minutes into this experience and said, you know what, something isn't right about this. The epiphany was too late, because when she turned around and went back to retrieve the money, it was already gone. Little for us to do in that situation. So the scammers normally ask for gift cards. They want wire transfers. They'll give you some kind of bogus place to send the money if it's done remotely. This one was done locally. And on top of that, she had just lost her spouse. So she was very vulnerable. But guys, that's probably my biggest concern for our age group and older, is that we make great victims because we still trust people and still take them on their word. And we can't do that anymore. That isn't to say that you can't have family and friends that you trust with everything. I've got a neighbor across the street who has a key to my house. I have a key to his house. We watch each other's homes when we travel. We pick up each other's mail. It's a beautiful thing. Now, I have found his slippers underneath my bed recently, so that's a little bit of a worry. But otherwise, our relationship is very tight. We're friends, and I would trust him as I do with my family. That's a wonderful thing. But there are so many other people, even within my own neighborhood, I wouldn't do that with. So establishing a rapport, having that kind of trust is a beautiful thing. But our generation, we took folks literally, and nowadays you can't, because scammers are going to take advantage of us. Sadly, family can take advantage of us. It's happened, guys. I stand before you. So that would probably be my greatest concern, is something that we need to curb, our trusting nature, our goodwill. And that sounds terrible, doesn't it? We should be able to do that. And yet, that's one of the lessons we need to learn. I want to thank you for your time. So, again, my pleasure. On behalf of Sheriff Grinnell, thank you.